Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? I'm guessing my audio was not on at all. Sorry about that. I just thought I'd come and touch base with everybody, see how everybody was, how the week's going. Let me just adjust my microphone a bit. There we go. Gosh, it's been a cold one today. And how are we all doing? I didn't realise it had gone quite so dark quite so quickly. Today I thought I've got a couple of ideas that we could have a chat about. So I'd noticed over the last couple of days that the weather has gone completely, not even autumnal, just like wintry. So that's cold. My feet are cold. Um, and who's with us? Who's in the chat with us? Anybody here for us? I can't see anybody. You've been all quiet on me. Maybe I didn't give enough time to people. Good evening, and how are we all doing? Today I thought we'd just have a little bit of a chat about the change in the weather. I'm noticing there's a distinct coldness in the air today. Hello, buddy. How you doing, Andy? Nice to see you. I just thought it's absolutely freezing today, and yeah, I thought let's go and have a bit of a chat. Do I need my light on yet? Probably do, don't I? Let's have a. There we go. You've just put a big snuddy thing on. Freezing. Yes, it is absolutely freezing. I was like, I sit there and I go, I'll just put my shirt on and it'll be fine. I went, I am so cold. So, yes. Good evening, the A level geography guru as well. Good evening. Nice to see you. And so, yes, I just thought I might have bitten off a bit more than I could chew because I'm a bit too cold now. I need some of your electronic hand warmers, the rechargeable ones with excellent USB-C and all of that sort of thing. I need some of them, I think, in my life. But I just thought I had a couple of thoughts and a couple of notions. Sorry, I was here. I kept getting error messages when I tried to talk. Oh, okay. I got an error message. I tried to put a message in the chat like Andy does pre-stream, and it just was like error message. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm obviously doing something wrong. So I'll just figure that out at some point. Yes, the hand warmers, absolutely. So I thought we'd have a little bit of a chat that about Loupes. Now we pronounce it Loupes, but it's French, and don't ask me to spell it. So there. But it's basically these little things, and they are little magnifying glasses. This one I keep on my belt or I keep in my bag, and you just pop it away. But you can get various different types of these things. Have I used Google Chrome for these? Like, no, I haven't. I think it's whatever it's called, Edge. I use Microsoft Edge. I don't use Chrome. I found it a bit buggy and a bit niggly. I never could get on with Chrome. But with these, you can get different types of ones, all for seeing little bugs and beasties, or you could get into as the leaves are falling now and that sort of thing, and you can get really close in with what you want to have a look at, all the little worlds. I'm fascinated by the little worlds, so I've got a number of these. That one's mine. This one is got a little case of its own. It's like, it's years old, this one. And you just snap it open. And then this one has a light in it, so it's a much bigger beastie than this one. Yeah, it's a much bigger beastie, and this one does have a light that doesn't work at the moment. It needs batteries. I didn't realise that. So yeah, you could use these for all kinds of things. It's not just like nature related, but this one is quite a sizable one compared to that one. But I use them to look in for all kinds of mischief and beasties and things like that. I tend to like, if you see a bee or a wasp or a ladybird, have a look. And it's just ultimately fascinating to me. Absolutely. I love it to bits. Does the bigger one magnify more? I'm not entirely sure, although the bigger one does tell me what the magnification is. The big one says 40 times 25 millimeters. I'm assuming actually it does look much more of a magnification than the little one. But the little one for me is useful because I just clip it on my pocket, and I just take it with me. Whereas this big one is quite chunky, and it does come in its own little case. I dare say you could get some more newer ones nowadays, but I like this one. Yeah, it comes with a bigger magnification than the little one. From what I have just seen, I should have checked that, shouldn't I? I really should have checked that. Yes. So I think this is the biggest I've seen these sort of things in comparison to that one. That's about the sort of average size I usually see them for bugs and beasties and that sort of thing. And this one, I don't even know where I got this one from. So yeah, it just turned up one day. There you go. Is there any more questions about this? I didn't think this through, did I? So those are the two main loupes that I use on a fairly regular basis. Are they expensive to buy? This one was only a couple of quid on Amazon. It's just like pocket money sized, you know. This one was a little bit more expensive because it's bigger, it's got a case, and it's got a light. My light doesn't work at the moment, the battery needs changing. I didn't check that before the stream. So yeah, this one was more expensive. I think it was still under a tenner, certainly on Amazon. Yeah, you could get them. Which one does the they take like button batteries. So silly little weird button batteries of some sort. I couldn't actually tell you that either. This is useful. It comes with I'm assuming that's to get the battery out, because it's got a little bit of a splotch there. So I'm assuming that's to get the battery out. And the battery is in there, and it's tiny. tiny weeny little thing. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, so little tiny batteries. Then I remembered about sort of 6 years ago, maybe, I bought one of these. Now you can get more modern ones and that sort of thing. But this is basically a microscope for your phone. And when you move it to clip it up, so that's how you move it to clip it into your, and then the light comes on. Clip it onto your phone, and it's pretty good. I will try and put some pictures on the community tab. It is pretty useful. I mean, it is pretty useful. All it is that is a problem is that you get a circular picture, not like a square picture, because it's a circular camera sort of thing, and it's got to go through this hole, and the camera's here, so you will get a circular image. But I don't find that a problem for me, because all I'm doing really is I want to identify the thing. So it is quite useful if you want to, if you've got your smartphone on you and you haven't got anything else. It is pretty useful. The only thing I will find that's a slight negative with it is if you want to look at bugs and beasties, you got to be careful, because what you need to do with it in order for it to be in focus on your phone is you need to put it flat on the thing that you're looking at, which means you're going to squash the bugs. So I find this one all right if it's just something flat I want to look at, like a leaf, or the ground, or a little bit of like sand or something like that, or a rock. You can put it on there and you will get a pretty decent image. The Like I say, the only problem I find with it is because it's such a small little bit there, and you need it flat against the surface. It's no good for looking at wildlife, bugs and beasties. Yeah, not unless you want to break the beetles back. Exactly. Yeah, so I do find it has its limitations. It's really good otherwise, because you can use it for all kinds of things, but just not living things in that sense. And I think I paid about, it was on special offer. I think I paid about £3 from the RSPB shop in Dungeness. About sort of 7 years ago, certainly. And they still sell these sort of things, and they're about £4 or £5. You can get something like that similar at Amazon's and that sort of thing. So yeah. So for an entry level thing, it's not bad at all. If you found something like that and it's an entry level thing, why not? You can always upgrade to having this as well as this, you see, which is why I've got lots of things. I've collected things over the years, and sometimes I'll use this, and sometimes this is more useful. So it just depends on your use case for that actual moment. But if you're talking about bugs and beasties, my favourite thing of all time, yeah, it is an absolute bargain, Andy, absolutely. My favourite thing of all time and I've got lots of these. This is a little bug pot. It's got a what do you call it? Magnifying glass. That's the word. on the top with air holes, which is useful. So we like air holes, and you can have a look at him in there like that, or you can have a look at him at the top and you can magnify whatever bug you've got in there. I'm going to say I've had a bee and I've had a fly, and I think I had a ladybird in there at one point. And it's really, really good. You just think, oh, that's nothing, but the magnification on it is really good. I've also got one, but I didn't find it. I couldn't find it out. I've got one that's got like a grid pattern on the back, on the bottom, so then you could gauge how big your beastie is that you've got in there. They come in all different sizes, and they've always got a magnifications on the top, and they've got like nice little bits of there we're doing it. There we go. So they've got air holes as well. But no, spiders are my limit. I'm really sorry. I like spiders, I just don't want to see them. So yes, I find bug pots really, really useful, and really fascinating. And I've got this one, and I think I've got about 5 others that are slightly smaller, but and slightly more flimsy. But if you just pop them in your bag, it's fine. You know, I've always got one of these in my camera bag, which sounds really weird, but there you go. I've always got one of these in my camera bag. No, Andy. You don't want to find spiders. I'm pretty sure you could just maybe use a ball of fluff or a cotton wool or something. Yeah. Because if you use spiders, I ain't watching that video. I'll warn you that for now. So this specific pot came with a bit of a set, like a going out in the wilds kind of set. But you can pick up bug pots for around about £6 or £7 for a pack of 10. I mean, 10, I mean, if you wanted only 1 or 2, which I don't know why you'd want 1 or 2, but that's me, I'm just extra. You can pick them up individually for about £2 each at the most. No, I don't think you should. I think you should just, use fluffy cotton wool and just see if it picks it up, and just use that as the example. I don't think you should be using spiders. Really, I don't think it's going to work. You're going to lose it, and then you're going to fret, and then the cats will play with it, and then it's just torture. Let me take a drink. You want to see the one we had in the car? It was a big daddy. Oh dear. Yeah. I haven't seen a big spider since, I think it was March. I had a big spider here, and I just went, no, if you're not paying rent, you're not staying here. So off you go. I've got a bucket sort of thing, and just sort of scooped him into the bucket. Well, I didn't scoop him. There's no way. But he was quite big. and I cajoled him into the bucket, and I chucked him over the balcony. Not sorry, but at least he was still alive. Spiders are my limit. I'm a wildlife channel. I'm a wildlife person, but spiders are my absolute limit. But I won't kill them. I know squashing. Right. What else have we got? I can't think, my brain's gone dead. I had this bought me a few years ago for Christmas. It's got a nice hard shell case to it. It's got, that's hard. And inside, I checked it today, it's fine. Inside, we have a mini field microscope. Now, this is my first microscope I had, and it was bought me for Christmas. So it came with the case was separate, if I remember rightly. So you had to buy the case separate, but you could buy that and that, but you had to buy the case separate. And then, so this is quite nice. It's got a AAA battery in it, I do believe. Let me check. AAA battery. No, AA battery. AA battery, and that's lasted ages because I haven't changed that for quite a long time. So it will last you a long time. But I find with a lot of electronic things, if I know I'm not going to use it for a while, I will take the battery out because I don't want it leaking all over the place. You had to squash one in the car. It was big enough to have a. Was big enough to. Okay, yeah. Sometimes it has to be done, but I don't tend to do it. Yeah. If you've got nothing to hand, then you got to do what you got to do. This one comes with this bit here is to zoom in and out. So depending on how close you want to be to your subject, if you can't be too close, you can zoom it in with that. And then this wheel is the focusing wheel. It doesn't look like it's got much focus, but it has. It's really, really good. Don't ask me what the magnification is. I don't know. I didn't have the specs for that. But what I like with this one, what I really like with this one is the fact that it's got a light, which quite often you will need. And then on the bottom, it's got a little lip where you can put a pot. So if you've got a bug in a pot, you can put the pot underneath and you're not going to squash the creature. And also, even if you put it flat on the creature, you're not going to squash him because it's got a guard on it. That's the word we want, isn't it? So it's got a protective guard on it, to show how close you can get, and then you can zoom it in with the wheel, sort of this sort of thing, this wheel, and then focus. So yeah, I recommend these, and it's only like small. I've had this in my field bag for absolute years, even since I had it, and I think I've had this about 6 years. Well, no, Andy. I think you might still need a pot to put your spider in. And I'm not looking at spiders under microscopes because no. Yeah, some spiders just won't fit. So if you put a pot underneath, and then you can zoom in with this wheel, you see, to get closer to the subject, and then focus, and then you can have a look at your bug. If you want to look at the spider, fine, have a look at the spider. But so yes, that was a gift. I don't know how much they are. They're not overly expensive, but again, I had to. I was told that the case was separate, but it does come with a little hook thing, whatever that was, hook thing, So you can hook it in your bag or on your belt, etc. So you're not going to lose it. But the case is separate. I'm going to breathe now. I'll leave that on the floor. I'll pick it up later. Does anybody have any questions? Just give you a minute. I have a question. What is in that mug you're drinking from? Is it whiskey? No, it's not whiskey. No. It's only water, because otherwise I thought, well, yeah, I'll just have a bit of water. So just thought, because I nearly forgot my water. So I nearly forgot. And I was like, where's my mug gone? I don't know where my mug's gone. So there you go. Which of them do I find most useful? Okay. That's, yeah, that's a good question. For me, out of these four, I don't find this one as useful as I used to. I find it too limiting. For me, it doesn't get close enough to the subject before it gets in focus, and then it squash. So I don't find this as useful, although it is a good starting point if all you want to do is look at leaves and sand and flat things and not live things. I do enjoy a good bug pot. So whenever I'm out, I've always got a bug pot just in case I find something and I want to have a look. Or the other week I used a bug pot because I was out in the car and our car got swamped with ladybird aphids, sort of like larvae, ladybird larvae, little dragons basically, and there was lots, and basically all that happened was they're looking for all the sap that had fell from the tree onto the car, so they just swamped the car. So rather than just leave them be, I scooped them into a pot and then I put them over into a hedge sort of thing, because it's better than being on the car. So I've always got a bug pot. 9 times out of 10, I've always got a bug pot with me. So I do find that most useful. I use that occasionally. I use the Loupe occasionally, but it's not very often, because I'd prefer something that's a slightly bigger area of magnification, because I find these quite small. Even the large one I find quite small. I did use the microscope a lot when I first had it, although in the last sort of 2 months I haven't used it very much. But again, it depends on your use case. For me, I'm more about sitting, watching and observing the wildlife. If I find something tiny and small, I will sit and watch it rather than picking it up and getting it and doing the thing. That's detracting from the moment, but it is useful. I just use it slightly less than when I first had it, mostly because I just forget it's in my bag. That's my bad. It's not a bad on the microscope. But as a first microscope, it is excellent. I like the fact that you can sort of have it flat, and you can zoom in with this little wheel here, and then you can focus with this second wheel. I like that. That's epic in my view. What else have we spoke about? So yes, I would recommend, for me, this, and I like the case. It's hard. It's a hard case, so even if it gets bashed about in your bag, it's not going to break. Whereas that's got a crack in it already, actually. So it might crack, it might break. This one is all right, but again, I would be worried that it would break eventually. Whereas this one has got a nice hard case to it. Has the technology improved on the microscope these days? This one you can get a more modern version of. It looks the same. It absolutely looks the same. There are various companies that do the same looking microscope. And I don't think this one needs particularly updating as such. But there are others out there that do slightly different things, or a slightly more magnification. I don't know about that actually. So this one, I'm not sure what the magnification is, but I have seen others that are this size and this sort of layout that have a more magnification, so you can get closer in to the thing that you're observing. I hope that answers your question. But yeah, I love this to bits, and I love this to bits. Those are the two things I never go out without. All the other things, the other three things that I showed, I can kind of take or leave them. Sometimes I take them out, sometimes I don't. It just depends how much room is in my bag and how heavy it's got. I need to take a break. Oh, we're losing the light considerably. I hope it looks all right on the screen. I have got a light on. Yeah, I really like this microscope. I would recommend it to anybody. I think the microscope itself runs at about sort of £10 or £12, depending on where you get it from. This particular one, I'm not sure where it came from, but I'm aware that the case was separate. But the case was from the same company, so they did the microscope, but you could buy the as an addition. You could buy the case. So I bought the case as well. Got two presents in one kind of thing. Looks all right. Okay, thank you. I did have some notes. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. I think for me, is there any gear you wish that you had? Plenty of gear I wish I had. I mean, yeah. I'm always on the lookout for lightweight but heavy duty, which is weird, tripods. Um, uh, um, uh, there's always something that I want that's like, what do you call it? Like camera mounts. I'm always looking for camera mounts, that sort of thing. So I can best create, because a lot of camera gear that I've currently got, my tripods and things, some of them are very heavy, so I can't take them out very often. So then I'll get a smaller, lightweight tripod, but it is a little bit flimsy, and I have to be a little bit careful and just not leave the camera on its own too much, sort of thing, and just hover. So I'm trying to find that middle ground of decent tripod, but lightweight and fits in my bag. And then there's always various camera mounts. If you want to put a camera on your rucksack or your bag, you want a camera mount, so you can just go and do the thing. I mean, if money was no object, I'd buy all kinds of things, but I mean, we have to be careful, and I've only got a limited amount of space and resources. So yeah, if I won the lottery, there'd be signs. Does your lightweight tripod have the little hook on the bottom where you can hang the bag or something? No. The very small lightweight tripod doesn't, but my middleweight tripod does. But even the middleweight tripod is quite heavy when I'm out on my own, because I've already got my bag of bits and then a tripod and then a walking stick, and it gets ridiculous. So yes. So I just buy small things that a lot of people will go, well, that's a bit rubbish, I don't like them because they're not very good quality. Well, I find it all right for what I've got, to what I want to do. So I make do with the thing that I've got. Yes, my small, very flimsy, lightweight tripod, I would like it to be taller, but it ain't. So I make do, and I kind of like, what's the word? I make adjustments for that and just go, oh well, it's not tall enough for this, but it is tall enough for me to put on this rock, so I can then get over and do the shots, whatever, that sort of thing. Good evening, Naturally Curious UK. How you doing, Graham? Nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. So yes, I've got. I mean, there's always there's always a want for more gear or things, but then you have to find a limit, because you've got to then use that gear, otherwise it's just in a cupboard, sort of gathering dust, and you haven't used it, or you haven't learned how to use it. So it's all very well wanting the gear, but then you've got to have the time to learn how to use the gear. Whereas, so basically all I would like is tripods and camera mounts and things. Good, thanks. Just sitting for a few minutes out at table tennis. Oh, cool. Enjoy. Thank you for joining me for a few minutes. This stream I intend to be available after the stream has ended, so don't panic. It'll be available. I'm hoping, if I figured it out right. I mean, I've got cameras here that I haven't even begun to touch the surface of what it's capable of, and using it to its full potential, mostly because I can't get out as much as I'd like, and I won't sit here and just play, if for the want of a better word. So I'd like to get to know my cameras a bit more, And then when I'm out and about doing the thing, at least I know where the setting is. I don't have to be like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing," and then missing the moment, which is kind of happens quite a lot. So I've taken to when I'm out and about, very rarely or not too much am I messing with cameras. I'm taking in the moment. Yeah, I keep forgetting that too, Andy. I have a look and I go, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing all the thing, and then I go 2 days later or the day later, you go, where did I find that setting gone? You got a new video coming on Friday, distractions and damsel fly. Excellent. I am looking forward to that. I've got my notifications on. So hopefully Friday I will have a look at that. Practice close to home, yeah, absolutely. And I go to my mates quite often, and when I'm there, I do practice in the garden because I don't have a garden here, but I do practice in the garden a lot. So I always do find something of interest in my mate's garden. You go to change the aperture, and I'm accidentally changing the shutter speed. Yeah, those are the things that I'm like, why have I got to do this? And oh, that looks better because of that. And then you go, where did I find aperture? Where did I find shutter speed? It's gone. I don't know where it's gone, and I don't know what to do now. So yeah, I mean, I've been using cameras more in the last sort of what year are we in? Oh yeah, 15 years. And I still my brain just does not want to retain information like that. So quite often I just have to make notes, and I think moving forward I am going to make a camera notebook and just go, this is this camera, this setting is found here, and kind of write out some information that I need more frequently. Do I still shoot? Do I? No. So I shoot stills or videos more. Well, if you'd have asked me 10 years ago, I would have said stills a lot. But in recent years, in the last sort of 7 or 8 years, I've found for me, stills don't quite portray what I'm trying to say. So I can't quite get the story right in a single image or a series of images that I want to portray. So sometimes video works better for that instance, but I still love photography. But over the last sort of 7 years, I've made more videos of various things, but it's not to say that I don't even take photographs, because I think they've become more of a 50-50 kind of balance, whereas sort of 10 years ago it was 60-40. I was taking more photography stills, whereas now it's more 50-50, more balanced. Yeah, like you say, you've leaned more towards videos in recent years, but still take a lot of photos. Yeah, that is me. I do tend to do that a lot more. I think I had uh, my first video camera in 2014, and I've still got that video camera. It's wonderful. It's big, but it's wonderful. And I like to take videos because I like the movement of the video. You can see the intention of the animal and the context of the clip. You can see what's going on. You understand the movement and the what's going on in the video. Whereas a still image is beautiful. And I've took some really nice, beautiful pictures over the years, if I do say so myself, which isn't very often. And you go, yeah, that's nice for a moment. It's a moment in time. But if I want more of a story, I have to capture more of the moment. And I find, for me, video works better in that. Not better, it works as a more interesting point. Whereas, because I think it's because Facebook and a lot of your social medias have become saturated with so many pictures and people taking selfies, and there's pictures of your dinner and on all of this, that the photograph loses its meaning because everybody goes, oh, that's a pretty photograph. Yeah, and is there nothing deeper than pretty? Is there nothing deeper than oh, it's a nice image? I'm trying to say something, and all you come up with is a platitude. And to me, I want to portray more emotion. Does that even make any sense? I'm tending to shoot stills with my DSLR. Yeah, me too. And the video with my Lumix. Oh, okay. You got a bridge camera. Yeah, lovely. I don't know much about the Lumix cameras. I don't actually know much about bridge cameras, I'll be honest with you. I have seen them. I have played with them a bit, but I don't really know much about them beyond just having a bit of a play, and that was a while ago. So I'm guessing the technology has moved on quite a bit. So yes, I think for me, I like both. I started with photography, and I've always enjoyed photography. I might not have taken the most technical of images, but I've enjoyed the image that I've produced. Um, I might not have taken something that's competition worthy, or all of the big photographers, they take some wonderful pictures, and they're so technically lovely, and all of this sort of thing. But I do photography because I enjoy it, and it brings me joy. It makes me happy, and it also, in a linkage, video making makes me happy. When I'm observing wildlife with my video camera, it makes me happy. The best thing you learned about shooting stills was at a talk when the chap was emphasizing the importance of seeing where the light was coming from. Yeah, yeah. And I found that was one of the first things I learned, but I also found that was quite limiting, because sometimes I couldn't get the shot I wanted with the light I wanted because I didn't have the skill set. And I'll give you an example. Your dragonfly picture from your calendar video, that was absolutely cracking. And I'm sitting there going, I would love to take a picture like that, with the light and the dragonfly, and it was all like, and then he showed us a picture at a different angle, and it was a completely different picture. And it's like, it's the same dragonfly, same place, different angle. And it portrays a completely different setting, and it's wonderful. Yes, it does. It makes me really happy, and I want to do it more, health permitting. So, I want to get out, and I want to get out more, and I just want to Thank you for popping in, Graham. Absolutely wonderful to see you. Catch you soon. Catch you soon. So I want to do more photography. I want to do more filming. And I also, I want to tell more stories. I've got this thing that's in my head that I really, really want to make a wildlife documentary. And people go, oh, but wildlife documentaries don't have to be an hour long or 12 episodes and all of this sort of thing. You can make a wildlife documentary that's 10 minutes. Concentrate on one little thing and do a 10-minute slot. Start there, start small, which is why I've been sharing my little clips. Start small. Those are my small clips. I'm starting small and building my way up. My dream is to make a wildlife documentary. But there you go. Oh dear. Gosh, we have lost the light now. It's gone really, really dark outside. What is it? Just gone 8 o'clock. But yes, I would like to do more making films. Yeah. Making films, telling a story about whatever animal or animals that I am filming, and make a little narration and do the thing. I am passionate about trying to get my words out my head and just, yeah, I should. Sometimes I get a bit not sure of the not sure how to start. You just start, don't you? It's a bit like live streaming or creating anything. You just start messy, just start. So that's what I did, and that's why I've been sharing my little clips. I'd like to share a few more clips on my channel at some point. So maybe in a few weeks' time, I'll get a little bit sorted to share, and just see where we go from there. It's just make a start and share my love of the natural world. That's really what I want to do. I want to talk about the natural world. Okay, tonight we've talked about a little bit of gear and things like that. Sometimes that's useful because you go, that's I could take that out with me. It doesn't take up much space. Just chuck it in my bag and off we go. And it brings wildlife closer to you, or it brings the natural world closer to you, and you feel more connected in that sense. I'm trying to build on the connections and share my love for the natural world. But sometimes my words just get stuck. But the more I talk, the more I'll get used to it, I guess. Absolutely, I should just start. Absolutely. And how's everybody's day been? Everybody been doing all right? How's everybody's week been? What mischief have you been up to? Give me a breather. Yes, the more confidence I will get, the more I do things, the more confidence I will get. Absolutely. I mean, I love taking photos. I take photos of all kinds of things, but I love taking photos of wildlife and nature and leaves and things like this. And it's just like bringing it all closer to me. And sometimes I share them and sometimes I don't. You've been settling in at school, the A-level geography guru, settling at school and meeting all my new students. Oh, lovely, lovely. Oh, yes, because we're all back to school, aren't they? Okay. What year are you teaching? But yeah, I should say share more, and the more I do these sort of things, the more I'll get used to what I want to actually say. I mean, I actually wanted to say a lot of these things tonight, but you know what I mean. I'll get less inhibited and just get on with it. 11 to 16-year-olds. Ooh, dear me. No, no, no. That sounds like a punishment, not a job, I have to say. I mean, sometimes you also need, you don't need all this gear, but sometimes it's nice to have a starting point. It's fine when you're used to it. Well, I'm glad you're used to it. Yeah, I'm glad you're used to it and you're still enjoying doing the thing. Because like a lot of teachers get jaded, don't they? And a lot of teachers just sort of burn out and all of that sort of thing. Like I say, you don't need all this sort of thing, but sometimes it's nice because then you go, oh, I would have liked to have had a look at that a little bit closer. So you go, well, I've got this in my pocket, it's fine. You know, cost a couple of quid plus a, whatever, bit of postage maybe, depending. I'm pretty sure you can find these in the shop, like decathlons and things like that. You know, under the camping wear and stuff. I'm pretty sure I've seen these in Decathlon. Right then. Oh my gosh, have I been talking all this time? Oh dear. I think that'll be it for tonight. I might try and do another one tomorrow. Don't hold me to it, please. But I might because I've still got a couple of ideas I'd like to talk about. But I'm a bit tired, and I think an hour is quite enough for a lot of people. Let's be honest. Um, thank you ever so much for your company, everybody. Thank you for joining me, Andy and the A level guru. Thank you. Thank you for joining me and having a chat and listening to me and everything. And much appreciated all your time. Hopefully, I might catch you tomorrow. Catch you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.